So good morning or good evening to everyone who's Singapore, I guess. My name is Pan from Filecoin and IPFS. And last time I talked about NFT storage and how easy it is to store off-chain assets for Flow NFT applications. I also shared with you Flowwow and NFT Pet Store demo app I made. Today, I'll be doing some coding, focusing on using NFT storage JavaScript liner library to upload a token's data to the IPFS during the minting process in React. And so here's the output that it look like. It will be a humble version of the FlowWow Pet Store that I demoed on the opening day. We will be focusing on the simplicity and the ease of learning. So the authentication and other scaffoldings, cadence code and styling will have already been provided for you as part of the repository. So again, you won't be writing any cadence code, just the JavaScript code part that talks to cadence in order to interact with the Flow emulator. And we will only focus on the minting action and the uploading assets to the IPFS2. If you have not already, please get these following things set up. Again, if you can't follow along, all the repositories will be available to you to learn at your own pace later on. Um, so since we had the technical glitch before this, so let's just go ahead without waiting any longer. Please just feel free to chat me or anything if you need me to wait or um, slow down. So if you already, those of you who already have the repository, the Flow React repository, which is the exercise for this session, please just make sure you're in the project directory and run Docker Compose up. That is a way to run the Flow emulator and the dev wallet services that will just work and talk together just fine without like fidgeting the setups or anything. After that, please change the directory into chapter 4, ch4, then run npm install and npm start to install all the dependencies and start the React app on port 3000. Then please use your browser to browse to the localhost port 3000. Um, there's a good chance that npm start command might have already opened this browser tab for you. And last but very importantly, please open the source application app.js file under source in your chapter 4 directory in your code editor. Any code editor would do, but I'll be using VS Code today. Okay, let's see here. All right, I hope everyone is seeing the screen. It is split between the code editor and the application view here. Justin, can you see it just fine here? Well, I
Yep,
suppose. Okay, great. Thanks so much.
no problem.
All right, we'll just check out. Just make sure you guys are opening JS under chapter 4 um, slash source. All right, let's check if it works. Just create it. Let's see if it's okay. So as you can see here, I open up the app on the browser, and then also, because I'm running npm start in the background, so whenever I change my code, the pet shop app here also changed. Alrighty. Okay, what am I doing here? All right. Okay. So here is the scaffolding of the app.js. So a lot of things have been provided here already. That's why we already have this is okay looking app right now. So today we will just be implementing the minting process, focusing on this button, the mint button here, and the handler. So we're going to create the minting handler here that talks to Cadence code that mint the token. And then in the process, we will also be uploading this particular pet image and other metadata of the pet to NFT.storage, aka IPFS and Filecoin network, and then after uploading, we can use the that data to upload to update the UI here, and then use that instead of right now, which is using the local file system data. All right, so let's start with here. So you can see here mint token. So this will be the main handler function that will get passed into the mint button. So we should think about how to mint the token first. And then, okay, here it goes. First, what we do is we have to, import the cadence code that mints the token. Okay, so we need the cadence code here as well. If you were using the Flow command line tool, you wouldn't need this. You can just pass the cadence file into the command line, but here we're talking to cadence using JavaScript. So this will be the dance that we'll do. And then we have to convert the pet object. As you can see here, the mint token function takes a pet object here with all the data and also, where to find the photo and whatnot. So we convert this pet object to metadata dictionary that Flow can understand. So because unlike JavaScript, Flow more similar to Rust or Java, it's a type language, strongly type language. So right here is the process where we have to actually try to convert the pet object to a more type format that Cadence will understand. And here is when we interact with the chain, send transaction to the emulator. And if that is successful, then let's also upload the photo and data to NFT storage. Okay, so we have our framework right here. Don't mind me if the photos changes here. It's just like running randomly from the local directory. So there is a few pet photos right there. Okay, so let's start with um, minting, getting the cadence to work in the function. All right. So here's what we usually do. We fetch the cadence code file. So as you can hear, mint token transaction code is already up here. So it's part of the project. It's provided here. Mintpet token.cdc, that's cadence. So we fetch here in our application, and then call it text here because we want the raw text of the code. Let's just call it code here. Okay, and then we have to convert the conversion here. Let's do this. We iterate through the object, the pet object's keys. Then we map to, we use the key to map, and then returns returns another object conf, complying to the dictionary type in cadence. Okay. So we're just basically returning for every key of the pet object. We're returning this um, dictionary, or more like the object with the key name key and the and the key name value. That provides actually provides the key name and the value. So this is like to just to conform to the type format, a type dictionary in Flow. Also, okay, let's get the metadata here. Okay, ready, right? And now we should start by sending transaction to the emulator. Let's just wrap it in a try catch statement. Just out of good practice. You can't never trust JavaScript these days or any day. All right. So what do we do here? So first of all, we have to create a payload in order to be included with the transaction. So we'll do that. Um, so I'm using FCL library here from Flow. Note that it's already here. Okay, here. On line 5, import star as FCL from onFlow FCL right here. Um, okay, so it's a bit of a dance here. So right here we provide the code, the cadence code that we parse as raw text here, and then fcl.pair, and then we pass this function called odds. It's called the authorization function. Basically, it's just telling who is signing that particular transaction. So who is giving it a goal, and just be mindful that there's also a default authorization transaction. Authorization function in the Flow library called fcl.odds. This is this is default, but it only makes the current user being the one who authorized that particular transaction. So why are we not using it here? We're using the custom made odds function right here. Again, it's being provided as part of this tutorial because we want the current user to be the one who authorized the minting transaction versus um, versus having the master account. Like in this case, it would be the emulator account to be the one who authorizes it because this app, the current user should be able to be the one who click mint and then mint the pet, right? Shouldn't need any form of um, authorization from the server side or from emulator. So just know that it's there. And then proposer, we also use the auth here, and then authorizations, also auths. And then lastly, there will be a place where you can choose the limit to your gas fee. And last but not least, just pass the payload here. Okay. Oops, no. Did we create the payload? Oh, that's my bad. Sorry about that. Oops. All right. That's kind of a wrong place to be. All right. So actually, we were actually creating the payload, right? So this is still a part of um, converting the value to an appropriate type. Okay. So this is the payload. And then what we were doing just now, accidentally, we were actually passing arguments for the sending the transaction. So just paste it here. Sorry about that for the confusion. All right. Here. So fcl.send is actually just sending everything you have to provide to, to the emulator in this case, or if you were on a testnet or mainnet, it would be the corresponding chain. And then you'll wait it for the some return response. And then here you call fcl.decode to here. Normally, after every transaction, you should get the transaction ID as the response. So we'll wait for that. Okay, and then this is the time when we should, if this is done properly and with success, we should be uploading image to storage. Okay, here. Oops. So we haven't implemented this upload image to storage function is still playing here. Well, so we're going to do that in a second here. So let's just get this over with. So let pet data be the return data of the upload image to storage. Um, and we can even like, I don't know, like print the data to the console. Okay. All right. So now it's the time to go to upload image to storage function and start to implement it. So now we are right where we need to be is to upload the metadata to NFT storage. So what do we have to do here? Um, okay, let's just fetch the photo from the local file system. This upload image to storage function also accepts the pet object. And the pet object also carries an attribute called photo, which currently is just pointing to the local file system photo on in this repository. But we want to fetch it. Um, you have the URL, and then we want to turn that data to blob format, and then we provide a file name to this. When you're on IPFS, you can also provide the file name to the file that you're uploading. If if you want to be able to identify your file with the your file name and not just the unique CID content identifier, which is pretty unreadable, you can also think of your own file name here. And then, so when all is done here, we use client to store call the client. Oh wait, what's that? No, it's not this. So we have to initialize the NFT storage client. So we'll do it here, up here, if you can see it. NFT storage. So you just have to pass in your API key here. So you'll have to be signed on to your NFT storage website with your API key. I'll just fill in my own API key here, which is part of my environment variables. All right. So here's the NFT.storage client for me. And then I can, from here, line 22, I call client.store to store all the data. What do I want to store? I would want to store all the attributes of my pet. Um, description. I'm not sure, but I believe this description is mandatory, and you'll have to also include it as part of the store method of the NFT storage client. It'll just be data of the pet's name. And then image. So this is obviously, I think, is needed here. So file, um, the file constructor here is also part of NFT.storage package, as you can see here. It's really useful. You can just pass any data in there, and your file name, and let's see, the type is JPEG. Okay. Okay, I believe we're there, almost there. All right. So hopefully this uploading will be a success, and then we just return. Let's return something meaningful here. Of course, we want to get the metadata, but unfortunately, um, some browsers and also the HTML image tag don't really know anything about the IPFS link, um, maybe except the Brave browser. So here we want to be able to, convert the IPFS URL that will be pointing to the uploaded image to the Web 2 version that the our image tag in our React app can understand. So I'll just tag along with the Web 2 property here, and then let's think of a simple function that can do just that. CID to Web2 URL. Maybe not a really good name, but they'll do for now. Metadata data.image.href. So that's where you can find the IPFS URL to our uploaded pet image. Okay, so we return that. I believe our upload image to storage function is complete. So we come back here to the main mint token handler. So this is already part of the try catch statement. Here. And we get the pet data. And last time we wanted to print the pet data too. Okay. All right. So the last thing, I guess, here is to implement the CID to Web2 URL function. Let's just do it on all the way to the top here. All right. So what do we want to do here? Basically, we want to convert IPFS URL to Web2 HTTP URL to be displayed in our React application. So let's do something here. Let's use the URL constructor in JavaScript to create a URL object from the URL we are receiving. just to make sure it's well formed. And then, we can check if the protocol is actually IPFS, right? So, and then this is the part where we kind of like do this ad hoc parsing thing. Bad name slice too. Um, so just be mindful that this parsing thing here is just it's very specific to the IPFS link that you'll get from NFT.storage. So be mindful of that. You might want to take a look at the what you get from in the response first, and then so now we can return the appropriate HTTP link. It should goes like this. It should goes like this. Right, there's a COD and then .ipfs .dweb .link, and then there's the file name phone right here. All right, excuse me. Okay. And then lastly, very importantly here is to use the mint token function that we have crafted together, um, and use it to hook up our mint button. Bam. Here we are. On click. Oops, what's that? Okay, we want it to be an async function as well, because we're calling mint token, which is a concurrent function. Okay, let's get the image URL from, I don't know, yeah, mint token, calling mint token here with the pet object here, and wait for it, and then when it's done, we access the web2 attribute here that we just returned from our where is that? Yeah, here. Okay. Yep. So we already here the image URL here is actually the Web2 HTTP URL that we can use with any Web2 browser and HTML tag to display our pet image on IPFS. And let's just also update the listing on the UI. So it uses IPFS version of the image as well. So let's do this dance right now. Okay, we splat all the pet attributes here. But we want to change the photo attributes to use our newly created image URL pointing to the IPFS. And then we set pets, set the state of the pets to the new pet. Okay, and just as you can see here, this is actually to display the owner address, whoever is owning the token at that time. So right here, we can just say set owner address state, and then just do a very ad hoc thing here and say marketplace. Like so after you minted the token, it's supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to belong to the master, the marketplace account, the stores. account. So we'll just do that. And let's see if it works. Okay. Whew. Yeah. All right. Let's check it out. Oops. Oh. Okay. Can't see. Cannot read Web 2 here. Oh. Okay. We forgot to return the pet data in our mint token function. Reading photo. Source pet photo image. 1110. 1110. Source pet photo. Okay, let's try to refresh that. See what happens. Okay. All right. So let's try to lock in using the Flow Dev wallet here. All right. This is all good. There's the check mark here, which is great. Let's try to mint. Oops. Oh, what's the matter here? Hmm. Oh, hold on. We can just inspect right here. Oh, there's a lot of red marks here. All right, and just try to. I'm just gonna read redefine reading web 2. Okay. Well, so it seems like the mint token function is not acting or behaving. All right, so we get that here. Payload, whatever, txt transaction ID. We're not using that. Pet data, upload image to storage. Let's check the function here. Upload image to storage. We return. Okay. Upload image to storage. Image. Return metadata, and then we have the Web2 component here. All right. Just right. Let's see here. All right, let's do a little debug here before we move on. Please here. Let's just say results, and then that's so we can just print out the results, just to check what's going on here before returning the results. So it looks like something is not right in this function. So we'll just tag this as well. Oh, that's kind of weird. That's a weird bug there. All right. I won't be wasting a lot of time here since we have already gone through substantial amount of time here. But yeah, I mean, thanks so much for following up. Again, if you want to give it a goal here, just just use the repository at your own pace. It's I'll try my best to to work on it so I can break it into chapters that are like easy to digest, and hopefully it will be kind of useful to you um, in the remaining 6 week or so. Okay. All right. So again, thanks so much for hanging out and your patience and everything. I know it's the experience wasn't top notch this morning. So thanks so much for hanging out and learning together today. So it's been really fun experience dealing with you all. Here are some resources you want to check out as your next steps in your hacking journey with NFT storage and flow. You should have access to the slides, these slides here as well. So I'll be sure to share it in the Slack and anywhere that matters. Last but not least, feel free to reach out if you need anything on the Filecoin IPFS site. You can join the Filecoin Slack to ask questions. Everyone will be more than happy to help. For your information, by the way, we also offer grants to support your Filecoin or IPFS projects. So if you make something pretty cool that you want to continue working on, hey, it's funding right here for you to do just that. So please reach out and talk to us. We are excited to learn more about what you want to build. Also, you can connect and reach out to me personally with any questions or find me on Slack. I'll also be hanging out during the weekly office hours every Wednesday for the next 6 weeks. So if you have any, follow-up questions or those related to NFTs or just want to help me fix that bug that I couldn't do in time, um, or maybe you just want to share your personal struggle as a hacker, do not hesitate to book the time to chat with me or just connect me on any of my social channels. And I'll do my best to help you out. And good luck, and may the flow be with you. And I will answer some questions now. Okay, there are just two questions here, so I'll quickly go through them. So, what is minting? Um, it's it's very open question, but it's a really good question here. So, um, minting is a transaction. So, when minting is like the first transaction ever that record that particular token on the chain. So if we're talking about NFTs, it's minting a token, or if we're talking about fungible tokens, like coins, we're also talking about the same thing, pretty much minting. So we are in effect creating new tokens into existence on the Flow blockchain, and that's minting. Another question is, are we getting the slides and recording? Yes, of course. Just hang around. It should be shared. Everything here should be shared. So you also repositories and everything will be shared. So you will not lose all these. And okay, thank you again, Justin. Thanks so much for your patience, man. Is there anything else you want to fill in?
Yep. Thank you, Pan, for going through this session. It's really, really very, very insightful. And I hope those who are joining us here today do have an opportunity to kind of like have a little sneak peek on how NFT storage and some of the flow technology can actually be integrated together. So as a lot of people have been asking, the recording of today's session will actually be hosted on Angel Hack's YouTube channel. Once the video is actually up, we will we will announce it in the Slack channel as well. Similarly with the slides, Pan will actually share it with the Slack channel as well. As mentioned, we do have Mentors Office hours happening every Wednesday, and do check out the booking system. That's also hosted both on the participants guide and also your a Slack channel itself to know where to get them and to book a slot with the mentors as well. Similarly, any of the resources that's going to be shared will be hosted in Slack respectively as well. All right, thank you everyone for the time. Wherever it's morning, afternoon, or night time for you, please have a great day ahead and keep in touch in Slack. Thank you.
Thank you.